welcome to another edition of our Wednesday show. We are the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. I am darkly lit Adam Baum alongside my co-host, which is the bionic one, Brian, who is zoomed in. I kept trying to tell you, in the light that I have lit here is not there. We're trying some new things here, so just bear with us here. Before we get too into it, let's introduce our YouTube live chat where we got Daniel Price and Christopher Steichleather over there. And Brian, we're going to talk about Dynamite tonight, specifically what was Owen Hart stuff. But we have to start with the things that happened away from Dynamite, right? I did. That was the thing I did while you were laughing at the fact that your camera's all messed up. I did. Daniel Price and Christopher Steichleather. Check the tape. You think that's a dig, or you think he actually believes that? I I don't know. Yeah, I compare. I know everybody else wants to always compare WWE to AEW, but I always like to compare TNA to AEW. And um, TNA, in my opinion, was doing good things, but they weren't getting the eyes that they needed to compete with WWE. And then they signed Sting, and everything changed. They got instant notoriety, if you will, with the mainstream. Everybody recognized Sting could definitely still go in that era too. Um, what it felt like was there was going to be a. They're saying you're muted, so I'm gonna have to figure that out in a second. But they're saying that Brian, like the Punk should have been. Shouldn't he should have been that same thing to Bishop. I mean, for those who didn't hear Brian, since we got having mic troubles there, but he said that basically Bischoff said that Punk is a financial letdown, and I happen to agree, because he should have been what Sting was to TNA. That's just my thoughts are. Uh, Rob is telling us everything is not right. He says he can't see me, and Brian is all fucked. I do, um, but you're not coming through the levels there. Um, so let me see if I can. Board, tell us if anything improves. I guess as we figure this out for a second. Um, it is just an alley, filled with I don't know what. It's whatever Rhodey put set up here for. Because remember, this is all new setup for us. So I'm at the mercy of what Rhodey set up at the moment, which is a pretty cool little setup for the most part. Not that anybody can hear us, though, is the problem. So yeah, I mean, I'm a little in the dark, but this light thing is not lit up. I don't know how to do that. But you can't hear you at all, so that's bad. Huh. So he says that none of the Stike letter on the board says to me none of these free agents AEW has signed has drawn any money. I it's really hard. Um, the, Brian has zero audio, and the close up of Brian's ear. Yeah, I'm in a completely new system here, so I'm not sure. Brian sounded fine in sound check, but not to me. That was only to me. So I apologize. And you can't even see Brian, so it's not like he can pantomime. Uh, I don't know. Changes the name to marked out technical difficulties. You're funny, DP. Yeah. Well, I'm in a completely. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm in a brand new studio, and I don't know where your sound is even coming in right now. So to try and figure that out is quite difficult. Check 1 2. Brian, say something. See if it's any better. I'm sure it's no different. No, I'm not any. I'm not any media class. Everybody would ask for a refund. Um. Anyway, so we'll continue. Hopefully, Rhodey will be here in a second to figure this out because I have no clue what I'm doing here. All right. So anyway, while we try to figure out, now they can faintly hear you. So maybe one of the buttons I did was right. DP says they can live with your side face if we can figure out the audio. So there's something. Our board is trying to do something for us, Brian. Okay. Well, no. Now we can see just a nice close up. um, so, all right. So what they were talking about was on the board, real quick, to try and reset, is that the how much money could these new free agents have drawn and stuff like that? Because I'll argue those old agents that I put with the TNA, Christian Cage, whatever. I would argue that those guys constantly had a presence that drew wrestling fans in. I don't think anybody that doesn't already like AEW has joined, and I think Bischoff is going a little extreme with it by saying that Punk's not making any money, but he is dead on growing that audience. So how can you make money if you can't grow that audience? That would be my thought process on the whole thing. Still no Brian, I guess. So that was only one person saying that. For all I know, they. Well, then something I'm doing is right. Try now, Brian.
Check 1, 2. Hello. Hello, board. Marked out technical difficulties. You're telling to pull my headphones out. Yeah, I pulled my headphones out.
Yeah. At one point, TNA was pulling 2 million viewers and had good stories. AEW is mediocre and won't upsell those numbers. Excuse me, won't pull those numbers. Typo. From DP. I mean, I kind of agree. I don't even know. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, Brian, or give them a pass, but maybe in today's climate, there's just no opportunity. Like for a wrestling program the way it used to be, a traditional just wrestling program. We're going to focus on In Between the Ropes, and we're going to tell that story. What do you think?
Oh, you want me to talk? I thought no one could hear me.
Well, not when you whisper like that. Try and actually talk. I could barely hear you, and I'm the only one who can.
What are you talking about? I'm talking regular.
What do you mean you're talking regular?
I'm talking regular. I'm talking. This is how I talk.
This is how I talk, yo.
Oh, now Rocky's saying better, Brian. Clearer, but not louder.
Let me see if Rhodey's just sending mean things or if he's hateful. Yeah, he's just yelling at us. Like, it's a whole new setup. I sat there and tried.
Well, you didn't take it for a crash course beforehand?
I did. Remember, we were standing here talking, and I had the video queued up, and I had the bums behind me and everything. And I was like, oh, the only thing I can't do is completely fix the frame, so we went live.
Right.
But whatever. So the whole thing that's coming out of all this is that AEW just doesn't quite get the stories to go along with it. Like, I thought Mox and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson being paired together, Brian, would have been something amazing, and it's not.
I mean, it's only been a month or so. It hasn't been that long. Give it some time.
But
That's the optimist, though. So I mean, I see what you're saying. Although I will say, it was weird to put that whole crew together when Danielson was like crushing it as Pio. Like, I thought he was doing fucking some like awesome stuff when he first came in, and then he got paired with Moxley, and it's like it kind of derailed where he was going.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely think that a little bit that makes sense to me. Because why would you have those just like look like they were going somewhere with this character? He's having great matches with Omega, and then all of a sudden he is part of a faction with Regal and Mox. And what I don't know, Brian, and maybe I missed something, is Wheeler Utah injured or something?
Yeah, I don't know. You were saying that.
Because he's not part of this 10-man match that they made tonight.
I don't think he's injured. Not that I know of. I haven't seen anything either. I'm trying to search to see if I can find any updates. Let's see. Wheeler. Yuta. I like saying his name. Let's see. Something else. Workhorseman, Kyle O'Reilly. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, so Utah's in Japan, Daniel Price says, doing Best of Super Juniors allegedly. I don't know, but they put it seems like he was supposed to be part of this. They put a 10-man match together, And now all of a sudden he's just not there.
That would explain it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's where he is. That's why.
It just feels weird.
Well, I mean, that's just the way that the schedule, dictated it. So I don't know. How do you say the guy's name? Konosuke Takashita. Konosuke Takashita.
Yeah, whoever he fought tonight. Hell, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I feel like anything I'm doing right now is just making it worse. So in any event, the big thing about AEW is they have Double or Nothing in a couple weeks, and we currently have like 5 matches on the books, and I was expecting maybe a stadium stampede from Jericho Society. I did not think they were going to go right into, fighting with Blackpool, whatever. Just didn't make any sense to me.
Come on, Bubbles.
Oh, here he is. You're wearing headphones. You don't have headphones, do you?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. Can you move
It's
the
a
phone?
brand new board and everything. You're giving me hell at 6
I'm giving you
years
hell
instead
because-
of texting me as some way to
I'm
solve
giving
it.
you hell because the shit that's messed up is it's easy. That you could have done if you would take 2 seconds before the show started.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Just fix it.
I took over 10 minutes.
Okay, well, clearly not.
He did.
Because you would have said, "Oh, Brian's head is really big. Maybe I should."
Right?
fix that."
Right? I sat here for how long?
Okay. All right, Mr. Defend yourself for everything.
You're attacking me.
I am because you clearly after 6 years haven't learned
And you
anything.
came in here rude as hell.
Yeah, this is how he
Recording.
teaches.
I don't know.
And he wonders why his students
Really,
are
so
fucking
in
dumbasses.
6 years,
I'll whoop
yeah,
your ass for you.
in
Yeah.
6 years, if my
In
students
6 years,
can't
you
figure out
haven't
how to
taught shit.
resize the fucking screen, yeah, I'm going to tell them they're dumbasses.
Hey, what can I do from over here?
Nothing. You're fine, Brian.
Yeah, it's never your fault, Brian.
It's not. It's clearly not his fault.
You just want to sound like you the only one is right.
Are you fucking serious? Nobody thinks I have. Can you turn the light on? Baby, please. I'm
You
sorry.
want to wake the kids up?
I didn't mean. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Look. Oh my God.
I thought that light when it came on when we
Look
go
at your own
live.
face. You didn't see your own face on it. Like, oh, my face.
It
is
looks
completely
different on
black.
YouTube.
Everybody was quiet until you got home.
Sorry.
It looks different on YouTube.
Sorry. Adam is just.
He didn't do
And look,
anything. I was
look,
right
even
here.
the board. Time for Rob's meltdown. Like they know
fucking
it's
right.
coming.
I'm fucking right.
DP says, I swear Adam's got ADD and just doesn't care that he's got it. I feel like I might have ADD.
So can they hear Brian at all?
No,
Apparently you guys can hear me.
I can hear him fine. That's why I thought sound check, and he was coming through levels right there on the mixer.
Oh, I didn't tell you. We saw your doppelganger at the park. The
Seriously,
other day.
seriously, baby, right now, I'm just trying to do the sound. I can't do it when you
I
tell
mean, you
stories.
already been talking shit in the mic anyway.
I
so-
Yeah,
can't
yeah. I
hear
mean,
the
the show's
sound.
done.
Right.
We'll see you next week.
We're just going to do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Emergency Q&A time. So now that we know.
Stike's doing the Daniel Bryan chant for Angry Rob. He says yes, yes. See, now Rocky always appeals to the normal.
Brian, can you talk?
He says we thank Rob for helping.
Hey, Robert, I miss you. I love you. I'm going to be in North Carolina the weekend of June 5th.
Cool.
4th, 5th.
And,
So if you guys are around.
is that our kickball tournament? Or whatever?
I'll be out of town.
You son of a
You can come to Crawfish Boil with me.
Crawfish broil?
He can't even say it.
It's hard for me to say.
I don't eat
Crawfish.
crawfish.
Have you ever had crawfish?
I haven't. I'm not a seafood guy.
Damn. No type of seafood? None at all?
Why do you look like you're having a stroke there? I don't.
Me?
Didn't bother to line himself up in the middle. Just not.
I was. You said move and move me out. Oh my God, I was full. I sat here for how long?
Defending him and
I am
bashing
because I was
me.
here when he was busting
I
his
set
ass
this
trying to
whole
set up.
thing.
I was here.
This hooks onto the chair he's supposed to sit on.
No,
He was center and you said move.
it kept coming with the half moon every time you move in the chair. This was working.
Came here guns blazing. You gonna be one.
Just
to get
stop.
offended.
Like, what the fuck?
No, because this is shit that fuck it. It doesn't even matter.
No, Rob.
No, don't try to make him feel better.
No, but
no.
he's right.
I know I'm fucking. Thank you, Brian. I am fucking right.
He's right.
Fucking how many years until you can go? Oh, maybe I should just look at the screen and see if it looks stupid before I start.
And you talking about we can't
Are
have
you
a
serious?
conversation.
I got the whole thing set up. That's how I looked at the screen.
No, you
And then
couldn't
look-
see your face. Brian only had his eyeball
my
on the
God.
screen. You didn't.
On YouTube, you
How
can
is
see
this-
my face.
How was
I made sure the light looked good on YouTube.
Okay, all right. You're right. I'm wrong about everything. You're right.
What the fuck?
I love that this is going out over the air. This is the show.
Yeah, I'm always the fucking bad guy, even though everything I'm saying is absolutely fucking correct.
Rob, I miss you. We miss you.
Can't fucking wipe your ass without
AEW misses him.
AEW misses you. You said something interesting. You said, what did you say in the text, Robert?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I do want to read that while we have him because that was a good one. Because it was to you. He says, "I'm sorry, Brian, but AEW just seems like a punchline to me now." Now this was in response to Dan saying that Keith Lee probably really loves being on Dark now.
So what? He was on Dynamite tonight.
He's on Dynamite tonight, Rob.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay. Rob doesn't want to address his comments.
No,
It was a good try,
you
Brian.
just never admit you're fucking useless when it comes to this shit. And you always got to make me look like I'm the fucking angry bad guy when it's like, dude.
I don't think I add that at all.
Fix the shit that you can't just figure out.
I'm not adding the angry bad guy narrative. I think you do it just fine.
No, I don't think so. Rob is a very sweet boy.
What the fuck is...
Can you guys fucking hear them?
Can you fucking hear me? Can you guys hear me? DP says rename. Oh, no, I'm not seeing that. Oh, well, I guess we can. Yeah, rename this to Angry Middle-Aged Men Yell at Friends on Podcast. We'll get like 5,000 views.
He's probably right. Like, just tag the video like, hey, watch two guys argue while the other guy goes, hey now.
I don't even know if they
Hey
can,
now.
I don't know if they can fucking hear you. So, there you go.
Hear Brian or me?
I don't know if they can hear anybody. Can
All
they
right.
hear
Go
you?
back on Pornhub.
Did you turn is your mic turned on?
My mic is turned
I
on.
just want to make sure because that's kind of
I
shit
can
you
hear
wouldn't
him.
do.
His microphone is turned on.
There you go. Thanks, Brian, for now defending me.
They said my mic is still a little bit low.
Oh well, then turn your
Turn
shit
it
up.
up on my end.
God fucking Christ.
Christ on a cracker. Christ on a cracker. BB says he's laughing so hard he's crying.
Fucking useless. Fucking useless.
No, it's a prank. This is just a really long prank we've been.
I know this is just going to make him further mad, but this was the menu I was on when he walked in and went, move, and kicked me out that he's now setting with. So I was almost there. Just FYI.
Yeah, Rocky said Adam, we could always hear. Yeah, you can always hear Adam. No kidding.
Shut up, Brad. Look, I feel like I'm in your thought bubble.
Who?
You.
Oh, because you're like a little, yeah.
Yes, Brian.
Brian sounds like his voice is. What's wrong with my voice? I've been. Rocky, do you not like my voice? Is this better? I'm right up on the microphone.
All right.
That's interesting. Brian sounds like his voice is being picked up by Adam Mike from the speaker.
Yeah, I think that's what.
He's not wearing headphones. Right? Wouldn't that do it?
Correct. Which is why, when they said you were sounding louder, I just held the speaker to my microphone.
Oh.
I just figured that was going to work. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if it works. What do you think? We'll try to salvage a little bit of the show, but what do you think about the Jokers tonight, Brian? Let's start with that. Let's just forget we haven't talked about Dynamite. We were talking about Bischoff, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think about the two Jokers? We'll talk about the first one, Johnny Elite.
Yeah, this was a little. I don't want to say it was disappointing. It's like definitely an interesting appearance, but like I was kind of hoping that.
You think it's just an appearance?
Well, I was hoping that if the Joker came in, it was going to be someone that would probably go to the finals. I don't know about win the finals, but maybe beat Joe, and I don't know.
Well, and I speculated it might be someone to do with the Hearts, and of course that wasn't it either.
Yeah, but like just to have someone come in and then just lose to Joe like that, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a wasted opportunity. You're not really incorporating any kind of other storylines with it. You could have. I just feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. But, and that's also, I mean, he wasn't really one of the guys, and no slight against him, but he wasn't one of the guys that was, Gargano was one of the names that we thought we were tossing around.
Oh, well. Okay, now, since you mentioned Gargano, there was a tweet that came out by AEW right before actually I started watching it, so it was weird because I was a couple minutes behind putting the kids to bed, went to turn it on, and I picked up my phone, and it says Johnny Gargano has debuted. And this was AEW on TV, so it's like the TNT site thing, whatever, for Dynamite. It's not AEW's Twitter handle, but it's Dynamite's Twitter handle or whatever. Man, I hope they deleted that quickly because a lot of people got screenshots of it to show them how stupid they looked.
Yeah, that's bad. How do you do that? How do you fuck that up? I don't know.
The only thing I can think of is maybe they follow both and they got lazy and just typed in @J. Whoops, picked the wrong one.
You want to make sure that you were correct with that. That's a big.
I'm sorry. Did Adam call somebody lazy? I'm sorry.
Rob from the clouds.
Right. He's up there with his spaghetti monster. They're having dinner. So, yeah, I mean, I expected so many others. I didn't want Johnny Gargano. I wanted somebody like you said, Brian, somebody to go through the finals.
Just to come in, make an appearance. Oh, and when I say make an appearance, I mean he could show up next week. I don't know if he's signed. I don't know what.
It could have been a chance to have an NJPW guy come in and start the build for Forbidden Door via the Owen tournament.
It'd be cooler, yeah, do something like that. But just to have a surprise, I feel like it's wasted.
When he announced this Owen tournament so many moons ago, I expected better. It's fallen a little flat to me. And nothing fell more flat to me than the women's Joker.
Really?
Dude, she been on AEW? Not she wasn't all elite. She came and wrestled 1 or 2 matches.
Yeah.
Then was all over Twitter, shitting all over the fans, and you were telling me that that's her thing.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, the crowd likes her. She has a little bit of a cult following, but
yeah. So does Danhausen. Who cares?
Say it again.
So does Danhausen. Who cares?
Well, I think that's a little bit different. But she, yeah, I mean, she's already been in AEW. Granted, it was a while ago. I don't think she's made an appearance in over a year, maybe.
It's been at least a year since she's appeared.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is cool.
Possibly 2.
Right. But again, it's the same exact thing. Like, same as the men's side. Like, okay, cool. Joker came in and lost the match.
Yeah, I mean, I suggested, wouldn't it be weird if Taya Valkyrie, they just do husband-wife Jokers?
You might as well have. That's what I thought they were going to do.
I believe Hitman was in the DMs with me saying that he thought it would be Mia Yim. That would make sense because this is probably the last time we'll see Keith Lee on Dynamite. So.
Well, Mia Yim just showed up at Impact. I don't know if she signed there or whatever, but she just re-debuted because she used to be in Impact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole thing, though, and then we get Kyle O'Reilly winning. Like, are they setting up Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in the finals? Like, no fucking way, right?
I mean, because they already did the whole Dax versus Cash, and I feel like you're going back to the well again with that.
But this isn't even Dax versus Cash. That would be Fish versus, Kyle. This is.
Oh, yeah, Fish.
This is them. I mean, this is literally how both men exited NXT, and they're calling right back to it.
That's true. Well, I mean, maybe it won't be Cole.
I mean, it shouldn't be, but what's the alternative?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely Cole.
So I don't know how they booked themselves into a who gives a fuck type situation, but they kind of did, and I don't know what Johnny Elite's been doing, Brian, since the last times we saw him, but he had a couple miscues tonight off the top rope.
One making appearances for AAA.
Yeah, one of his and I know this happens, and this is just part of the game, Brian. But God, how unfortunate is it when you blow the finisher in your debut? It's kind of like Matt Sydal when he slipped.
Right.
These things happen. I'm not going to pick on the guy or be like botchamania, but like in your debut, that's some bad luck.
I definitely think it's going to be Joe. I don't think they're going to do Kyle O'Reilly versus Cole. I don't think that makes sense.
And didn't Samoa Joe take the title? Oh no, he took the title from Cole, didn't he?
No, he did. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Kyle O'Reilly versus because they did.
No, I'm saying either way, you're revisiting both scenarios.
Everything. Got it. In my head, I'm thinking Kyle O'Reilly versus
Yeah.
Cole. Yeah, you're right.
We already have that Adam Cole is advanced to the finals, and his options are Joe and Kyle O'Reilly, both who he had long feuds in NXT with over the belt on his on his way out the door.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think at this point I feel like it's going to be Joe, especially with him being the Ring of Honor TV champion.
Okay, and now that's the other thing. Like, everybody walk into the ring with these Ring of Honor titles.
It is a little weird, but apparently they have new logos. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, Joe took the title from Cross.
Yeah, but they're all like involved with one another. It's like a game in golf, but I accept that. That's close enough.
Is it gimmick in golf?
No, gimme. Like gimme. Like that's
Where'd he
gimme.
go?
You don't play golf? I know you play brawl. Rob plays golf. Rob, do you play like when you're putting? Do you play gimmies?
What?
It's a gimme.
Oh yeah, if it's been raining in the winter.
Yeah. I don't know if you. I think Gimmies is kind of lazy. I don't think Rob would do that.
Lazy bookie.
No, I like to be prepared and do things the right way. Oh, that's a mess.
Yeah, that was creepy. That just looked like your head disappeared into my lap. Thanks for that. Stike wants to correct us, Brian. Joe took the title from Cross.
Well, that's what I said. It's close enough. They were all in NXT around the same time.
I think Cole took the title from Joe, is what I thought, but who cares? They fought their feuds. I'm worried that it's just going to end up the exact same place. I think DP says Britt and Cole are going to win. Dude, that's disgusting. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah.
Rob, why are you still in my square on the YouTube screen? You know?
No, I don't want to be yelled at. No, you just want me to get yelled at.
And I do. And I have my own. It's like, bro, why?
Yeah, bro. Bro. No, so
What am I going to yell at you for?
he's asking you to get rid of my whatever in the upper corner of his frame. He's saying that he should have his own frame to himself, and he's upset that he has to share even part of it with me.
Well, if you don't want it to be there, then maybe Adam should learn how to remove it.
See, there you go, Brian. He told you.
No, I told you, basically.
Right? So, I want to mention real quickly I brought up a second ago the whole Hookhausen. He made the save last week. Now they have 3 fucking T-shirts. They're already a tag team. Like, this is stupid. They just did this to sell shirts.
Well, they sold it to, sell shirts, make money, put over Hook. Because obviously Danhausen is over with the crowd. They haven't even fucking explained anything. Like what he is, why he's there, and he's still popular as fuck.
Now, I don't remember who said it here, but the only financial gain that AEW gets from all these debuts and all these bullshit teams is that they get to sell T-shirts. They don't even have a name yet for Swerve and Keith Lee, but guess what? They made sure to mention tonight in their one appearance on Dynamite that they are a legit tag team now. That's like when, dude, I'm not going to rehash everything, but this is the same as when Kip and Miro were teaming. It's like, what the hell? You have 2 established singles guys.
Well, I mean, you also have to kind of look at it with a different...
I have to look at it with a 120-person roster size?
Well, I mean, just because we're used to seeing something from WWE or elsewhere, like, we're not going to get the same thing. Now,
Brian, don't sell me shit here. Are these guys not singles wrestlers?
Yes, they are.
Okay, that doesn't matter if they were singles in WWE. That doesn't matter if wherever.
No, those 2 specifically, I will give you. They are.
Okay, and is Miro a singles wrestler?
I mean, he was in United Nations for a little bit.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was. He was part of United Nations.
No, that wasn't the name. That's why I said he wasn't. League of Nations he was part of.
What was it? League of Nations?
Yes.
No, it's not United Nations. It's 2.
The United Nations, he's not the Bulgarian representative to the UN, Brian.
Wait, it was called League of Nations?
Yes. Oh, we were way off. Keith Lee took the title from Cole. Cole took it from Gargano. They had fucking feuds, all right? It's like...
Yeah, back off. Jeff lost tonight.
Yeah, and I could see Tony being like, oh, they're going to have King and Queen of the Prom type wins when Cole and Britt get to the finals. You know, yeah, I mean, Tony just wants to have a couple that's his best friend. He's already got all the boys. Now he just wants a couple to hang out with.
That's true.
So, hey, if I put you guys over, will you spend the weekend with me? I'm so lonely. So who's debuting next week? No, I don't care.
No, that's a good point. Who is?
Yeah, so we got, what else do we have here going on tonight? The Jericho Appreciation Society, I told you, I think that's just a hodgepodge of 10 guys trying to get on a pay-per-view. Wardlow, MJF, Spears. Yeah, Wardlow shook off some whips, but this is the same thing as Cody.
Yeah, same
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, MJF is going to get so watered down if he were to go WWE. Dude, he's staying here and getting watered down. Yeah, the promos are different because he targets a different person in his promos, but you're basically giving the same feud every time. Somebody has to jump through his hoops to get to face him. And now they did it so badly where the hoops are the same as the previous time.
They do have to get away from that. I mean, I get it because the guy's got money and that's his thing. He's trying to manipulate people, but nah. And they're doing it in what? They've already done it twice in 3 years.
No, they've done it 3 times.
3 times.
They made Jericho do all that crap to get to face him too.
Right. Right, he had to face Gage. Yeah. Oh wait, was it Gage? Jericho versus Gage. Yeah, Gage.
So, yeah, I mean, this is, and I want to say Mox had a similar feud with him too, but they just didn't drag it out.
Right.
Punk, you know, he made Punk wrestle this guy and that guy every week. You know, this is like MJF is Booker of the Year, not TK, if he's the one making all these matches. The other big thing to take away tonight, you had Hangman on commentary with Punk. I thought it was a little cool that you got the win with the go to sleep. You know, kind of shoving it in his face. I think that is an old school thing, Brian, that's not used enough in today, is the stealing of the finisher.
Well, they kind of did it last week with Cole and Dax and the sharpshooter. I know it's not a finisher necessarily, but...
Now that they said was for Bret Hart. They both went on and said it was Bret Hart, so that wasn't stealing someone's finisher.
Masturbatory? Or am I missing a syllable?
I'm missing a syllable. I don't know, but here you have Hangman win the match with it. A match with a nobody.
Whoa! I was not saying that. Not a nobody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got you triggered. Sorry. Excuse me. It is Konosuke Takashita.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I have.
Brian, say it really slow. His last name is Takashita. If this guy were trying to wrestle in the U.S., they would have to change his name.
No.
And it's spelled like take a shitta.
No, that's just you and your, no.
No, it's a horrible name. like.
Well, if they were WWE, they would just change his name to, what, Kono?
It's like Bionic Brian. It just doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, Punk hit the buckshot lariat last week, Rocky said.
Right.
I don't know. I think they're reaching on this feud, and Stykes says that was a half-assed GTS. Okay. I think they're just reaching to try to make this a bigger moment for Hangman because he's going to walk away empty-handed. And they're trying to make sure that he has somewhere to go. And I don't think he has anywhere to go.
Well, I mean, he's going to be heel when he's going to be heel without the title?
Yeah, and he's not going to... I mean, I don't know who he fights. Is he MJF's next guy? Because Omega is if he returns, is probably going to deal with the Elite situation.
Right, yeah, I don't think it would be anything. See, that's what I was hoping. I was hoping that Kenny would... I wish he were... Is he even healthy? I know he's banged up. I know he's had, like, surgeries and blah, blah, blah. I know he's healing. I just wish... I don't know. I wish there was something, like, bigger with the tournament and getting that involved with Hangman.
So we got 10 days of Double or Nothing. Is the Bucks and Hardys going to throw their match in there at the last minute?
I don't know. I mean, the card is already shaping up.
But they're making that sound like they're trying to make that be.
I mean, it is pretty. I mean, although they've had the match a few times on the Indies.
Right, but what I'm getting at, Brian, is tonight was to me the first official like, hey, we want to fight, and it's like, dude, you got one show left before Double or Nothing. You've been fucking around in these 6-man tags and 8-man tags for weeks, and then a singles match last week, you know, like, and then you also put Jeff in the Owen, like on top of everything else. Like, dude, he didn't need to be in there. He was doing his own story. Like, I don't know. It scratches my head sometimes how they can do certain things right, and some so wrong. I'm looking forward to MJF Wardlow, despite the horrible booking the last few weeks, and I think Punk and Paige. But the women have done nothing of interest to me. I don't even think they have a match booked.
Double or Nothing, well, Britt has to have something.
Yeah, she's going to be in the finals.
Right, well, there you go. Yeah. Well, you're saying the women don't have anything, so...
They don't have anything for the title. And Jurassic Express looked like they...
Yeah, they've got Thunder Rose versus Serena Deeb. There you go.
Yeah. We've seen that. In AEW. It was for the NWA Championship.
That was like over a year and a half ago.
Dude, for how few feuds they have for the women's division to I mean, not... This is a callback with no booking, Brian. Like, they have not featured these people enough on TV. They certainly haven't given them the Punk and Paige TV time. They certainly haven't given them the MJF Wardlow TV time. They certainly haven't given them the Jericho Appreciation Society level TV time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an afterthought. And what's Jade doing?
That I don't know.
And booking... And that's what's weird, by including the women into the Owen tournament. The reason nothing is booked is because they have to show their one match a week for the Owen, and not to build for their title. No, Rocky. Red Velvet will not win the women's bracket. I don't care. And Stike says, I don't care about the Bucks Hardy match. Already seen it twice. No need to see it again. Then why did you sign Jeff? And here's the other thing, Brian. If you've already seen it twice, can't they do something different? Maybe they break up. Maybe Jeff turns on them. Maybe Matt and Matt start being a team. Call them the subs. Call them the Young Matts version 1. Matt's plural version 1. Dude, Matt version 1 was, I loved that one. Yeah. So overall tonight, there were some good pops. I'm trying to think. CM Punk wearing the abortion rights or human rights t-shirt was decent. What was the line? Oh, I gotta find it real quick because I don't want to butcher it. There was a line during the Blackpool whatever. Jericho said, William Regal, he goes, I thought you might be dead by now after all the abuse and wasted potential. That was one of the shots he said. He also went on when he was talking about Danielson. Oh, what did he say? It was not nice.
It was not nice?
Oh, he says to Regal, what a collection of proteges you have. Santana and Ortiz are too stupid to realize that he gave them everything he had in AEW. Eddie Kingston's too stupid to go home and take care of his family and his girl. We'll just have Y2J give her a call instead. He goes, and then you got Bryan Danielson, possibly the greatest wrestler in the world today, but nothing more than a squeaky clean nerd who's never drank or done a drug in his life. Stick with this gang long enough and Regal will have you eating disco biscuits and going to rehab with Moxley. That I like pipe bombs. I think that one's unnecessary. You're just getting hate for hate. We already hate you, Jericho. It's too soon. I thought it'd be like, hey, here you go, Scott Hall. We're gonna shove your alcoholism into your face right after you died. I don't know. Just seemed poor taste. You didn't have a problem with it?
Not really. What, with the Scott Hall stuff you're asking?
No. I'm talking about the him saying, like, I thought it was funny when he said, "Oh, look at you, Daniel, with this posse over here behind you when you're the squeaky clean nerd who's never done a drug." That was fine. When he went the next step and said, don't worry, hang around Regal long enough and I'll have you eating disco biscuits and going to rehab with Mox. That was too far.
It's a little far. Disco biscuits. What the fuck? I've never even heard that term before.
You never heard that term? That's because you're not British.
Is it?
Yeah.
Disco biscuits.
Shots are fine. Personal things to make you go, damn, cool. But some stuff, as Adam said, is poor taste. Some things are just too personal and dodgy.
I gotta agree with you guys.
Yeah, like Regal, I when you want to say, oh, you got wasted potential. Oh, look at your proteges over here. Want to insult them. That last line was just too far.
Yeah.
And that's the type of thing you get for someone who follows Trump. So what do you expect? That was my long-winded way of that was my petty. I loved the promo up against, and that was my marked out and my petty, Brian, because I loved that promo, and then he added that last sentence, and it kind of hurt it for me. So he made me mark out, and then he made me go fuck you at the same time. What was yours for both?
Right. So I'm gonna go petty first. This is very petty because I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like the way that the tournament is laid out right now, it's gonna be Joe and Cole. Joe and Cole?
Yeah, and then Britt and Britt.
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be... Well, that's not petty. It's not really petty.
Yeah, why is this your petty then?
That's not petty.
And what makes it petty in your mind?
Okay, no, it's petty because they're kind of showing their hand already. Like, if it were someone else other than Cole, then you'd be like, all right, well, yeah, who knows? Maybe it could be...
Brian, when they had the inaugural TNT champion title, they had Archer and Rhodes on the opposite side in the middle of a feud. And what happened? They fought in the finals. Like, what do you mean they're showing their hand?
Well,
they showed that hand the second they released the bracket.
Yeah, but I would be petty about that too. I was probably petty about that as well.
I don't think you were. I think you were on your high horse saying, no,
Yeah.
they won't do that. Somebody's going to lose. It won't be in the finals.
And my marked out was, hey, an appearance for the Workhorsemen. North Carolina guys. I think we've seen them at a few shows. Or I don't know if you have. I know I have.
I feel like
We definitely did. We saw them at the Evolve show. JD Drake against Montez.
yeah. See, I know we've seen JD. I don't know the other guy. I didn't recognize him at least.
He's in WWE also.
And who's Tez? Is that Gary's partner? He's the
Yeah.
No, it's all about Gary there. I don't care about the Janetti. Yeah, anytime we talk tag teams, don't talk to me about the Janetti in the group. It's just not worth it. And that's definitely what Montez Ford is. So we don't need to address that.
Dude.
What?
Huh?
Last thing I want to talk about as we sign off. I think everybody's made a big deal, and this is why I forgot to segue it when I was kind of crapping on the women's division here. I think the women on AEW are tits. I think that, and I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean there's a lot of really good wrestling talent. Adding people like Ruby and Toni Storm in recent months. Yeah, Ruby may not have the greatest charisma on the mic and stuff, but she's not a bad wrestler. I like her style. And Toni definitely is a good wrestler and has a lot to offer. I expected something a little better out of your Joker tonight, but at the same time, why? Why would Sasha want to go? I'm not saying the Joker was going to be Sasha, obviously, but why would everybody's been talking on IWC about how Sasha wants to go to AEW and how great AEW would be with Sasha in it, and how WWE will never let her go because they don't want to see her go to AEW. I don't think that's the case at all, especially with women. It's like, yeah, you think the grass is greener, go. They got 2 belts, and they give you 2 matches a week. And you'll be lucky if they're 7 minutes long. You know, I don't think... Well, remember we played that grass is greener game a few weeks ago? I think for every single female wrestler out there, there's no way the grass is greener. And that's why I think you're seeing some of these spouses not in AEW. Why is Zelina Vega still in WWE? Why did Mia Yim just sign a 3-year deal with Impact? You know, why is, you know, Britt was already there when Cole got there, but I mean, most of the spouses are not there. And there's a reason, in my opinion, that way, because they, more so than anything, the most apparent problem with AEW is their women's division. And it's not talent, and it's not booking, it's time.
Yeah, it could be money. I mean, Zelina, I'm sure, got a pretty money to stay.
But I'm saying, why doesn't AEW invest that? There's no way that Tony is going to pony up a good money for Sasha. And once a week, 1 match a week, like,
right.
I don't see them ever getting, like, you know, we were talking about how Charlotte was in the dirt sheets being unhappy, you know, before she broke up with Andrade and then got back together with him and married him. Like, we thought, oh, he's going there, Flair's going to manage Andrade, and like, no, there's no direction like that. There's no reason she would go there. The women are not treated properly from a time perspective on AEW. It's plain and simple. Their contracts, I'm sure, include all the same health care, all the same, you know, writers if they need when they go travel or in their locker room or whatever, all that kind of shit. But booking, like, there's just not enough to go around. And unless you want to be on Dark and Elevation every week, that's your option. And I don't even know that I could argue that this is a bad decision by Tony, because I see the way the crowd reacts, at least the hard camera crowd, to most of the women's matches. And I'm talking plenty of them as good. If it's not Britt Baker, they don't care. That fair, Brian?
Yeah. I mean, Britt Baker. I mean, you could also make the argument about. Oh, man.
And let's not forget, how did Britt?
I mean, the crowd loves some Thunder too.
But how did Britt Baker get over?
I mean, being heel.
No, she got over on the mic. She got over. Well, no, I'm saying she never had to wrestle. She was a terrible wrestler when she first got to AEW. You know, they continue to give her weekly time. They don't give those others weekly time. They started doing it with the champion. They give a little bit to Thunder, a little bit to Jade, but nobody has been given the time, microphone or match-wise, that Britt Baker has in AEW, and it's the one star they've been able to make. My argument is simply invest the same amount of time to, you know, whoever else. And Stike says, yeah, even in the Britt match tonight, the crowd was dead. Nobody cared about who she was fighting. They all were hoping for a better Joker. Me and Brian were hoping for better Jokers.
Yeah.
We came up with a lot of fun names last week when we were talking about it, and we got nothing in return this week.
What? I mean, which is kind of good, in a way. I mean, it's good to be surprised. It's not like it was like Ryback or someone like...
Well, no, okay, but, I mean, Johnny Elite, if he's not signed full-time, I don't know why he would change his name for 1 week, for one appearance.
That's his thing. He doesn't change his name. That's just where, he's been wrestling for Game Changer. Yeah, his name is Johnny Game Changer, I think, there.
Okay, but Johnny Mundo, that wasn't the name of that.
No, you're right. I mean, that was...
Johnny Nitro was in WWE when Nitro was no longer a thing.
Nitro thing, was... I mean, he was taking different... I think before that, he had, like, 2 different names, I think, before they settled on Nitro. And then he was more...
Yeah, Bischoff gave it to him. Bischoff called him Johnny Nitro.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about him.
I like that. I can't get over your background. You're in the mountains. It's nice.
I'm not in the mountains. That's a freaking street, man. Oh.
Oh, you're in the mountains on Skype. You're not
Yeah.
on there. I see.
I can be in two places at once, apparently. So, wrap it up. We're going to be back next week with our predictions. Of course, we'll cover Dynamite as it relates to those predictions. But we're going to focus on Double or Nothing predictions. This is... If Rob is right about the joke and other things and AEW being going downhill and having trouble, and Bischoff is right, and many of the other people out in IWC is right, this is their 3-year anniversary pay-per-view. They need, Brian, an amazing show.
I think they'll have one.
I think they're already set up to fail.
No.
There are not enough matches that have a connection of story. There's going to be some good ones. I have no doubt that you're right there. But like if the Hardys fight the Bucks, it's the third time. It doesn't have the same story as the first. You know what I'm saying? Where the first you're like, oh man, like I can't wait to watch this match. Don't even need a story. Wardlow and MJF. You don't need a story. Like at this point, because it's been going on for 3 years, you know, you don't need a story. Like everybody just wants to see that one happen. But the rest, I don't think they built enough of a story for you to buy into. Is this their first pay-per-view without Cody? I think it is.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Have you seen, by the way, the Hell in a Cell promotional posters?
No.
It's just Cody on the poster. He's the only one. Yeah. I think...
we didn't talk about it, too. Apparently there's 2 other titles. Well, there's the Trios titles, obviously, coming in. But there's like, physical titles for the OC.
Wait, what?
Is it going to be like
the stupid ring?
Exactly. Right. I forgot about the ring. I know they used it tonight, but...
You forget about the ring because they gave it to the same person all 3 years.
Had it the entire time.
Their other gimmicks don't pan out either. Like the everybody who's won the face of the ladder match has gone on to cash in nothing. Anybody who's gotten a ring has cashed in nothing. Nobody's gone anywhere. I truly believe that this is a make or break moment for them. Double or Nothing. It's 3 years in. You have a roster full of name ID guys who would be recognized by any wrestling fan in the world. Every wrestling fan in the world knows who Bryan Danielson is, CM Punk, Moxley, Kenny Omega, the Hardys. I mean, these Christian. There's so many that are recognized way beyond AEW. You have the roster. You keep adding to it, whatever. But you have the roster. You have the talent. You might get some extra eyes here because maybe people want to see Punk win the title. But this is going to be just like his debut or just like his other stuff. If you do not do something else with everybody else to keep them, then you won't. I go back. This one I'll go to WWE and Brian. Do you remember WrestleMania 2000?
Of course.
Okay. And the Rumble before it.
Rumble before it, is that when...
Madison Square Garden.
Came back?
What?
Is that when Mr. Perfect and Goldust came back? Or no?
Possibly.
Was that after that?
No, that was the year later. No, this was the one where the Hardys had a table match all around Madison Square Garden with the Dudleys.
Oh, with the Dudleys, yeah.
And Triple H fought Cactus Jack in a street fight. So I watched that, and I haven't watched wrestling since 91. And the Hardys and Dudleys impressed me. So I was like, I came for Cactus and Triple H, but there was undercard that impressed me. Same with the big McMahon in every corner, WrestleMania 2000. But their undercard had so many other good matches that it made me want to watch the following Monday. And pretty much every Monday for like 15 years after that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you want everybody to watch Dynamite. You want everybody to tune in. If they bring an audience that comes to watch Punk win the title, they need to put those other matches in place beneath it. And I just don't think they have the right feuds. But, you know, who knows?
Who knows?
So,
Sir.
Anything to close out? Oh, it was 02 Rumble that Perfect and Goldust came back,
02.
not 01.
Close out? No, I mean, we're going to do predictions next week.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll be starting on time, and we will be able to record.
We might have a EVP cameo of yelling. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, you see the handles up there on the screen. If you want to ask us any questions, ask us to cover something next week in the Go Home Show, please do. We will be back for @MarkedOutBT and @MarkedOutABomb. That's Bionic Brian. I'm Adam Baum. Tune in next time. Same smart time, same.